Here's a follow-up video for the 044 that got borrowed by a neighbor and got burned up. Anyway, I've got everything laid out here, got everything clean first thing this morning, and then I had a call from the bullpen to bring out this big legged gal right here. Here's my old house.
What's up?
Here's my old saw. Second year, 066 red light, 36-inch bar, and plenty of big ass wood. What a mess. All right, I washed the saw down and then cleaned all the individual parts. I mean, it's the only way to really go back together. You know, the saw was incredibly clean, but only where you could get to. You know, back behind the clutch and where the oil pump was. You know, is it hospital clean? No, but this will go back together really nice with everything clean. We are going to do new bearings, new seals and gaskets, and because this old cylinder I wouldn't feel good about, there's so much scoring in there. I think by the time we got that out, we'd be a little thin on plating. I did find through a friend of mine, thank you Grady, this is an old school, and you see how that's got the smaller combustion chamber. So this will be an identical to that. These are called D chambers. So you typically just factory, you'll have like about 180 pounds of compression when these rings break in. OEM piston and seals. So this will be brand hammer new. We're replacing just a few rubber bits, impulse line, fuel filter, and just do it right. You know, when you look at the replacement cost on this saw, if you want to go in and buy you a brand hammer new 462, you're looking at like $1,600 depending upon where and after the storm where you're gonna find one. Anyway, let me get a little bit of this together. This is not going to be much of a how-to video. This is just going to be, I'll show you a few things through the stage of all this going back together. All right, everything's going together nice. Crank's nice and smooth. Everything's well oiled for assembly. Got a nice little shine in there. We'll drop that on there and we'll start being the cake decorator. We'll just put all this stuff back together. We're gonna leave all this stock except for one thing. Let's do a slight timing advance. So this is the flywheel key right here. I filed off 25 thousandths of it. That's just a modest timing advance. We'll put the key back in there in the crankshaft and then rotate the flywheel counterclockwise to advance the timing. Your coil's over here, it gets there faster. And that should give it a little bit more pep. Okay, when I talked to David, he said he actually bought this saw in 1997, I think, 98. So we're gonna do a new fuel filter. That's the orange one from Stihl. This is the newest high flow, tighter micron, the updated green fuel line. We've got a brand hammer new impulse line on here. Both of these are really, really firm. I mean, you know, hell, they got some age on them. One other thing, this is part of the tank vent right here. And it would normally go through here, and there would have been one of these on there. So if you look in there, oh wow, a little grub screw is gone. Anyway, all right, it'll go in like that. But this will go on the end of the piece of fuel line, and that'll kind of be your tank vent, along with that little duct bill that's right there. All right, that should cover all our rubber bits, except for the boot, which is in really good shape. New OEM seals on both sides. Fuel line, tank vent, impulse. Forgot to mention, this did have, this is again, a later version of 440. Oops, what's that? Where it says Gilardani. Yeah, you can't see it. Anyway, trust me, it's factory. But the later 440s had decomp valves. I just put a plug in there for that, and that's where the spark plug goes. Everything's coming along nice. Old rim sprocket's got a fair amount of wear. There's no wear indicators left there. That's when you know you need to replace them. Focus. So that little nub right there and that little nub, It's kind of like a tread depth indicator on your tires. You'll notice after you do this that the, oh gosh, that the chain cycles around the sprocket here much smoother than it used to. All right, the bench is a disaster. That must mean the saw is finished. I've actually taken it out, made a couple of test cuts, got it tuned in, and we'll take you out there and see how it cuts. Throttle response is really good. That little timing advance really did a nice job. Let's do a couple of quick cuts with this. And not too bad for an old beater. All righty. That's a wrap on this one. I'll tell you what, you know, if you can find a nice 044 that's not beat up, I mean, obviously these saws are old, and these are just first couple of cuts. The rings haven't even seated yet. This thing is going to run better than that. And all it has is a timing advance and a muffler mod. Damn fine saws. They're light, they're nimble. You just can't say a bad thing about them. These have fallen many, many trees. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. I will see you on the next one.